Hello adventurers, this is your editor Andrew Berta. We had a lot of technical difficulties with this episode. So because of that, you're going to notice a difference in the overlay as well as some of the quality of some of the things we like to do. We're still figuring out a lot of the stuff. It should be fixed for next week. Cannot guarantee anything as of right now. We will also experience a bit of a microphone glitch issue happen in the first part of this episode. So bear with us as we work through the technical difficulties. And remember, this is a good day to die.
We're starting.
Yep.
Welcome back, adventurers. My name is Eli, the Game Master, and this is a good day to die. Stop laughing! So, last we left off, the group had gone into the cemetery, had started moving through the tunnels, and had been swarmed by a group of rats. After dealing with the mischief and moving on into the deeper sections of the tunnel, they found themselves in the sewer system below Drimport. They began to explore and move through these tunnel systems, dealing with the undead and even these hermit crabs that could leap through the air. I can't think of anything more terrifying than jumping crabs. After finding a talking head, which was missing the jawbone and they couldn't fully communicate with it, they found that this is a necromancer's familiar. What it's doing in the cave system and why it's here, they do not know. They cannot communicate with it, but it has hinted that it knows something about Dr. Isaac Tone's brands. After moving on into the area, the group had triggered a trap that had exhausted them, mechanically so, draining away their dexterity and their strength. However, Damon was still within relatively good fighting shape, defended the group from a band of marauders that had showed up, the leader of which had been seen previously by Ragnar and Perry within the council of High Lord Mayor Hawthorne. She had stepped up, putting a gun to Damon's head, and then a voice cut the tension as a young girl said, "Don't hurt him, that is my brother." And we will pick it up there. So, dun dun dun.
Also, side note, sorry for the delay.
Yes, we were experiencing some technical difficulties. There is going to be a shift in quality of tonight's recording than how it has been in the past. We hope to get this fixed by next week. We're going to do everything we can to do that. I'm going to throw money at it, and he's going to do everything he can to get that fixed. He's going to throw himself at it.
Granted, we did just completely redo a whole session and brand new computer in 30 minutes, so.
Yes, we did do. They did. I sat here and talked the entire time.
Which is your job, in all fairness.
It's what I do! I'm good at talking!
The three of us did jack crap.
I don't know who Jack is.
But I did him.
You wanted to so bad.
I did. I'm not going to give you a high five.
Max is like...
Nope.
So, Meryl, the leader of this marauding gang, had stepped up to you, placing a gun between your eyes. And then Tamris, this young, noble-looking woman, stepped up and cried out, "No, that is my brother." Meryl, with the gun to Damon's head, turns to look at the young girl, turns to look back at Damon as she cocks the hammer, and she says, "The Justicar?" And she says, "No, not exactly." She says, "You told me he was going to be a paladin."
My weapons drop down. I'm like, Tamris, what are you doing here?
She says, "Right now I'm trying to save your life, Damon."
You should let her.
She says,
Throw my shield and sword down.
Tamara says, and besides, Meryl, you owe me a favor. Meryl kind of like,
I don't break eye contact with her, but
And
I'm not threatening her anymore.
when you drop your weapons, you see that like she wants to shoot you and she's trying to find an excuse to shoot you, but when your sister claims you owe me a favor, you see her countenance become annoyed but soften as she lowers her sidearm. She says, very well. She says, then I will spare your life, Justicar, and the lives of your friends under the condition that they follow suit and drop their weapons.
I'll let go of mine.
I put mine away and I pick him up. And just kind of like
Can I?
have him leaning
Hold up.
on me.
I will actually.
When you say have him leaning on you,
How tall are you?
his head and feet are touching the ground.
Well, his
pick-
head is not. Like,
I will
would
pick Perry up.
So you
Until
pick,
you pick him up.
you pick Perry and Manzarek
No, I
up
would-
at the same
No, he
time.
picks Manzarek up, who's carrying Perry, who's carrying...
I may not be able to carry Perry for you, Manzarek, but I can carry you. You just pick them both up.
Hold him at
I
arm's
want to
length
remind you, I was the
toddler.
only one not affected by the thing. So I'm like,
I still
Totally
have more
fine.
strength than you.
I mean, probably.
Any
But
questions of that, do I have?
Several.
like, yeah, I'm not.
Nope, just the one.
No.
Reading the room, does she look like she's going to allow me to cast a spell?
Oh no.
Okay. So I'm like,
You have half a dozen crossbows aimed on you, a dozen more people surrounding you, and she has lowered her pistol, but they have not. So, as you drop your weapons collectively, yes, no,
I sheathed my weapon. I said bow. I meant my scimitar. I'm character for about half a minute.
why do you suddenly have 18 attacks?
I don't know.
where'd you get all those arrows?
Why are they all dead?
And on fire?
Because Berta told me to. Our viewers at home are like, what are they talking about? Past campaign, previous campaign. One of the marauders steps up with that same tentacle tattoo on his face that rolls down, disappearing into the collar of his shirt. As he steps up to collect your weapons, he, with a little effort, raises your hammer, and it's just like, do you?
I mean, I'm not going to stop him from taking the chain.
He removes your chain whip. He gathers your sword and shield from the ground. He steps up to you. It's in his shirt pocket.
Does he take my staff?
No.
Surely
Never
we would not
actually used it,
deprive
so.
a wizard of an old man of his stuff. Does Tamara's
It's
have...
just Sean Connery as
I
Gandalf.
That would be awesome. I know that's what it originally cast, but like,
Does Tamara's have the same tattoo? Does she
No.
have that simple tattoo?
As they begin to collect your items and everything, you see a blue tiefling step into the room. She turns and looks at you with this kind of like, oh, another tiefling. Her horns extend from the line of her hair, just above her brow. They come out, curving back and then back forward. They raise high on her head. Her hair is pitch black, and it is tied into a ponytail that drops down about between her shoulder blades. She is wearing what looks to be sorcerer robes. So just like magic user robes. She doesn't have any armor or any metal or any real weapons that you can tell. She steps up to each one of you and she waves her hand. Do you have any magical items on you?
Other than my shirt.
So it's a magical item?
Yep.
She waves her hand. She looks at one of the other marauders and she points at your shirt. He steps up and he...
You're gonna have to work. I can't get. I point to my wings, and if I turn, I'm like, the wings are going through the shirt. Like I physically cannot remove the shirt.
How do you bathe?
That's my question.
Oh, you nasty!
He doesn't.
Well, what's the shirt?
Okay. Oh,
Prestidigitation. You think I bathe?
You get a +1 defense from how crusty it is.
I do have a Thunderstone and a Potion of Healing, and I do hand those over.
What does your shirt do specifically?
It's my Vesta surgery.
Okay, so nothing.
If she identified it, it gives me heal check bonuses.
What's the caster level of that guy?
I can check all fronts.
So, she waves her hand over you.
Fifth.
Hold on. Let me double check and make sure.
You're just like,
Yeah, no.
cute, but we're not that high enough level for this to be a thing. She does take vows.
I got a ring. I hesitate.
I do have that every
It's,
person.
it's not mine.
She said, Meryl says, if you're lucky, you'll get it back.
I slowly take it off.
I do have the ever-burning torch.
They she waves over you and she's like, huh. And they just take it. And you're just like, no. They take, the guy takes the satchel. Suddenly Robbie jumps out and bites him on the hand as and he starts shaking the spirit back and forth. You see the sorceress watch him as he's like, no, it's fine, I got this, I'm handling it. And he just shifts off into the back as you hear this. And he's just Meryl says, no, gentlemen, if you will accompany me, we have somewhere to be. She turns and begins to walk. You see the marauders that are up on the walkway on the top level begin to make their way down these ladders, and they walk up behind all of you and they press the crossbow into your backs and they begin pressing you forward.
Oh, we press forward.
They begin leading you down this tunnel, continuing down this sewer, and it seems to be kind of a copy and paste of everything that you have already experienced. But the longer you venture down this tunnel, the more you begin to smell that salty sea air. The water in the trenches begins to become a little less murky and begins to flow faster and faster. As you step out into this kind of catwalk area, you see that it drops to either side, and there are two massive pipes that the water forks down and bifurcates into these waterfalls that dispense down into this dark abyss. You have a dark vision up to 60 feet?
120.
120. So you can see where they dispense into. It looks to be just like a massive drain, and it's just a large whirlpool that extends out for maybe 50 feet. And the water is just dumping into this and looks like it's perpetually just being cycled down. You walk on this catwalk, and it seems like this catwalk was only meant for maintenance purposes, because there are no handrails or no handlebars, and you can only walk single file. And they do make all of you get into a line and walk single file behind Meryl. Meryl stands a comfortable distance away from all of you, so you can't, get any ideas. She does lead you to this far side, and you see there is just a sheer rock wall to the other side. She steps across this metal grate, and when she gets to that sheer rock wall, she passes through it as if nothing's there, leaving only a shimmer of light silhouetting where she once was as she disappears through the wall.
Nifty. I followed through.
As you follow her through, you step through what looks to be like a heavy metal rim that extends maybe 7 feet up, not super high, and wraps down to either side with a 10-foot grace. So you could walk shoulder to shoulder with another person easily into what looks to be a metallic pipe that just extends out into darkness. Those with dark vision have no problem seeing in here. However, everyone else, there are these ever-burning torches every 20 feet that give that kind of eerie blue glow that illuminate this area. As you step into this pipe, however, you hear this dull kind of groaning that begins to emanate through this metal, this kind of deep. and you see along the edges or creases of where the pipe connects to another length of pipe, you see water dripping. And you get the feeling that you are underwater somewhere as you begin to walk and head forward. This will go on for quite some time, so if anyone would want to say anything or do anything during this time, you may.
So, how far away is this? What's her name?
Meryl.
Meryl. Yes, I was thinking Nessa for some reason. I'm going to pass straight. So how far away is Meryl from the island? I assume I'm in the lead.
If you're in the lead, she's about 10 feet from you.
So we're leaving Dreamcourt then?
She says, not necessarily. We are under Grimport. She says, we're leaving the city proper. We're actually heading to one of the islands.
I see.
Power, knowledge, or what's the other one?
For what now?
This is in
Islands.
character. The three islands. Power, knowledge, or what's the other one?
She looks over her shoulder and she says, courage.
I doubt courage. That doesn't seem right.
She kind of stops and looks at you for a moment to kind of...
Just a card, not just a card.
Not just a car. Never mind. I'm not getting into this.
I'm justified enough.
He's not just a car.
He's a puzzle guy.
That's alright.
Also, is Perry... if Perry ever starts to get heavy for him to carry, I would eventually offer, I can remove the exhaustion so he can walk.
That'd be great.
The tiefling says, I don't suggest using any spells.
Just the one? They're fantastic.
So I can't say anything.
We
So
like you just the way you are.
So in kind of a, not a loud shout, but kind of a timorous.
She is in the back of the room, and so she is as far from you as comfortably possible right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, if you were to stop to address your sister, you do see her behind the crossbowman, and she's looking at the ground, and it doesn't seem like anybody's paying attention to her. There's no armed guards around her. They are comfortable with her moving with them. And if you were to pause for any real amount of time, the crossbowmen would just step up, aiming the bow at you, and they'd say, keep moving.
I want to do a sense motive on the situation.
You may!
Quick question. You can download the videos, right?
Yeah. I understand.
Streaming?
No, we're streaming.
Okay. That's all we're doing?
We're just not recording.
Oh.
And the previous one I had it set up to simultaneous.
Okay.
Like one
Oh
click
my
of the button.
gosh! What can't I do?
Oh, it's so good, right?
7.
Oh.
No.
With a 7, you're very confused. You can't quite wrap your head around why she is here or what she's doing with these people or what her relationship with them would be.
Technically, I didn't even know Meryl's motives either, so I have no clue what is even brought her down here. I just know that this is a bandit situation, and there's my little sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, Damon's not in a good mood.
So, to clarify, Perry, she's the one that was in the chamber with the king?
Right? Hi, Lord. I don't know your political systems. I just keep walking.
When she hears you say that, she turns around and she says, no talking with, and continues walking. Because she's been fine conversating with you until you address that you have seen her before.
Yes.
Can I roll an insight? Like a sense motive?
Aren't you carrying?
Never mind. I
Rolled a hit.
She aims the gun at you and you're like, haha, try again. Ow.
Very bad. What are you talking about?
Sounds
sense
like
motive on her.
You may.
25?
With a 25, there's a lot going on here. So, firstly, you feel like the only reason that you're alive right now is because Tamaris came to your rescue.
Correct.
She she said that's my brother, and she also mentioned to Meryl that Meryl owes her a favor, which is very strange. Considering that she's leading a bunch of bandits and walking through this pipe underwater in Drimport to a secret hideout followed by a bunch of bandits, all branded with that tattoo, hers you still can clearly see, it seems that she's made like a foothold in the political system of Drimport, and the fact that she has been identified there and here is weighing on her. She doesn't like that. She doesn't like where she's been spotted. And so what she has accomplished or where she is in the political system could be compromised.
So being at a 1 strength, do I have enough to like move my hands a little bit?
Well, yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, hang on a second.
He meant 1 intelligence. Can he actually
I'm not
talk?
trying
Well,
to casting.
anything below 4, you're too dumb to talk. So I want to see what happens at 1 strength.
Yeah.
I hope you can't move.
I don't think I can. I think it might.
Well, I think encumbrance alone would cause.
Being encumbered, I'm carrying him.
And I have very few items.
You have the same strength as a toad.
So what I'm
So
hearing
I got
is you can grab
Morbidly
something
weak,
with your
has
tongue.
significant trouble lifting own limbs.
So probably not.
Can't raise your head or anything.
Yeah, I would say, like, to cast spells.
No, I wasn't
so,
trying to cast. Trying
okay.
to use thieves' can't.
So, like, somatic components, I don't think.
Those kind
are-
of just a language.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's more than that.
It's a sign language kind of thing.
Oh, so you just braille read?
You braille read.
You rarely.
That's how that works.
That's a stretch.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just
Just not out loud.
As you make your way through these tunnels, you notice something along the wall. You see, as you get deeper and deeper into this underwater tunnel, you see that there is a line, like a small thread, that leads along the wall and connects to what looks to be a vial of some kind of viscous material that has been mounted to the wall. And so it seems like every 20 feet, like close to every ever-burning torch, there seems to be one of those connected.
knowledge arcana.
They would be knowledge alchemy.
I have that.
Of course you do.
Hang on.
Isn't
But not-
alchemy
but not-
covered by Arcana?
Unless
Maybe-
it's professional. Crap. Professional. Look them up.
Hey,
It
16 by the way.
But I feel like knowledge Arcana covers alchemy as well.
It probably does.
Put me in mean. Just look it down.
Yeah, Max.
Jeez.
Jeez. It's actually the same for me.
Is that good? Does it feel like a real man?
It is really good.
Some good beer
It is not
that you're
beer.
drinking. Some fire brewed.
So knowledge alchemy or, I'm sorry, knowledge arcana
Or craft
or
alchemy.
craft alchemy. You
Which
can
are
roll.
the same for me. So it's 16.
With a 16, you look at those vials, and you see the canister that they're in. You see the color of the liquid, and for whatever reason, that's familiar to you. It's like a song that you loved years and years and years ago, and then you hear it again for the first time, and you remember all the words to it. When you see these items, you know exactly what those are. Those are bombs. These bombs are made specifically to destroy constructs or to blow apart metal. Not necessarily to kill living creatures, but to destroy
A siege bomb,
objects.
if you will.
Yes. The wire that they are connected to is a chain reaction. What that does is something will spark the first wire, and whatever that magic is will be transferred to bomb. They cannot be set off by a concussive blow or even by fire. Something has, whatever the person that crafted them did, has a certain has a very specific way that they've detonated, that he or she has designated to make each one of these go off. So without doing it yourself or examining them firsthand, you can't tell what that is. It could be something as simple as the cantrip spark, or it could be something as complex as a spoken word, as a magic sigil at the head of the wire.
So, looking at these, I'd be like, siege bomb. And then I would like spout out the formula used to make the siege bomb.
Mary doesn't seem to like care when you start talking, like she doesn't understand what you're going on about. You do see the tiefling though is looking at you and she says, please stop talking.
I also rolled 25.
You know the thing he knows.
Yeah, I would stop and just like, kind of looking at her, clocking.
It's also weird the barbarian can spell, those are bombs.
Not that weird.
I don't like that the gym rat also likes explosives.
We are the buff rats.
Let me introduce you to EOD, the military.
Looking at the tiefling and at this, I'd be like, just make sure you get the right combination of ingredients, right? It gets real bad, and I went to one of my mini scars, like burn scars. It's real bad if that happens.
In common, she says, I'm not the one you should be talking.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Very, very fair enough. What happened?
No.
We're good.
No,
We're good.
no.
We're good. Not great, but good.
We're good.
Not dead.
Not dead. As you make your way down this tunnel, Meryl, you come to a crossroads, an intersection, where the same extent of pipe leads out to your left and to your right. However, directly ahead of you, you see what looks to be a dozen eyes glowing in the dim blue light. They are these bright, pearly, sheening orbs that seem to be peering at you from the darkness. Meryl comes to an abrupt stop. Now, in this crossroads area, there is a 20 by 20 section of space, and the roof above you domes up to being 10 feet high. So it's like a rounded top, 20 by 20, and then it extends off to your left and right and ahead of you. But directly ahead of you, you see those eyes peering at you from the darkness. You see this creature step into the light, and it looks to be a mixture of a man and a piranha. This thing stands nearly 7 feet tall, wielding a trident in one hand, with fins that extend off of his wrists on both hands, down his back from the mid of his head, all the way down to the low of his back, and a large, powerful tail that extends out behind him. His mouth is broad, his head massive, and you see teeth ranging out in a vicious grin along his head as he steps out to greet all of you. Meryl steps up to this creature and she says, Pour off, buddy, what do you... And he starts speaking. Does anyone in here speak Aquan?
That's fish. No.
Very good. No one speaks Aquan?
No, sir.
I can't.
Skip over.
I've never almost passed.
It steps forward and starts speaking Aquan. This like deep gurgling noise emits from its chest, and because it has gills on both sides of its jaw, you hear that sound not only emitting from its mouth, but out from the side of its neck. As if this thing were to speak underwater, it would emit all around, but because it's speaking above on land, or out of the water, technically not on land, but as it speaks, it's making a horrendous noise that just feels very alien to all of you. But Meryl seems to understand what he's saying. She says, yes, I understand that we had an arrangement and I can bring what I promised you, but right now I'm dealing with something. He slams the trident on the ground and he points at her with a clawed hand. As he turns his back to her, walking over to the other glowing eyes hiding in the darkness, and you get a feeling that they prefer being in the dark. As it begins to kind of conversate with them, and that same awful gurgling noise begins to emit from maybe half a dozen other voices in the darkness. Meryl goes. She turns to look at all of you. She says, "Gentlemen, I think I know how you can help me with something, and it would be in your favor."
How's that?
She says, "Not you." She walks over to the gentleman that's holding all of your equipment. He's like, she takes the bastard sword out of his hand. She rolls it into a reverse grip. She says, "This is me." She walks back over to the group. It turns around to face her, towering over her. She is not a big person, and this thing is monstrous in size. But as she approaches it with confidence, as if she's doing like a business deal with it. She begins to speak in common with it in a hushed tone that you can eavesdrop on with a perception roll.
Also, with dark vision, do I see how many people are there?
Oh yes, and it is 6 of them.
20.
20,
12.
12, 13, 14.
Oh boy, 20!
20.
That's,
So Damon and Dr. Isaac, you are the only two that can really understand what's going on.
And I'm already on pins and needles, so.
You're not gonna lie.
He's on metal. He's underwater. You pick up pieces of what's being said, but it talking over her, like as if it's upset with her and is not okay with what's being said, begins to speak loudly and drowns her out. However, you two can extrapolate and kind of through context clues get an idea of what's happening. She steps up and she says, "I know we had a deal and I know how this works." And she says, "But I have something I want to offer you." She says, "We're going to do our typical deal, but if my man loses this time," she says, "you and your friends can have him." It leans back looking down at her. It says something. She says, right, but she like looks over her shoulder at all of you. She's like, she turns back to him and she says, "There are a number of them, and you can have your pick." 2. It says something loudly. She says 3, and that's my final offer. It kind of raises up and looks at over all of you. It rolls its shoulders, right? As it turns to the other ones, it begins to say something over and over in that gurgling voice as it slams its trident on its chest over and over, and they begin to do the same thing as she chants out. She says, "Wonderful." She turns around to walk towards all of you. She says,
I've got my arms folded at this point.
"I am nothing but a businesswoman," she says. Damon. She says, "Well, what's happening here is they are willing to kill all of us, including you, your friends, and your sister, unless you duel one of them. Might makes right in their culture, in the Sogan culture."
Or,
I look
follow
up-
me on this. We go back that way.
Oh, no. She says they protect our tongues. This happens once a week.
I look at the 30 crossbow men.
There's a name for that kind of protection.
Mm-hmm. She says, "You don't know how dangerous it is, Dad. You don't know how dangerous I am.
I know you have a sister down there.
And so fighting a fish man is going to be the easiest thing you do today."
I am literally doing
I turn
this.
and try and catch him. And try and catch Donna, turn my whole body into a weapon.
Right to the toe, nice.
I turn my head and try and catch Tamarus's eye.
She purposely does not look at you.
I need my shield. I say before I turn back.
She says, "Of course." You see the guy going. She walks up to him. She goes, "Is it that heavy?" And he goes, "Ferret." And pants. She's like, "Dude. Wherever skull fits, body can fit." Right. She takes the shield. She walks over to you. She says, "Anything else you'd like?"
Take a shield.
Shield him forward. But no spells. Sorry.
She gestures for you to make your way into the center of the room.
Gasp.
Shot.
Yes. Can we guess? I have a real good question though. Blue is the lights.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
That is a real good. Very good, Shane. See?
I would have tried to be more. I can catch a faith on him if they will allow such a thing.
Do you say something?
I would have said something to read some deeper.
What do you say?
If you would like to increase your chances of this fight going in favor, then give him a minor shield. You watch me cast a spell. No trigger.
What level is it? Level 1? Okay, she'd be able to identify it. She turns and looks at Meryl. Meryl says, "Oh, it'll be good." She identifies it. No funny business.
It chilled me. Oh, I could have cast the flippy wings. I mean, if you really wanted me to.
Thanks.
Plus 2 deflection bonus.
Yeah, what about that restoration?
One step at a time, I got out. Well, you still hurt.
The way you asked the question, the answer is yes. Always.
Mentally. Emotional.
I don't know if I can heal you.
So, go ahead, Damon, and roll me an initiative.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
What's wrong with it?
It's not sponsored, but we could be.
Just you're ready to go out on a limb and sponsor.
The more you eat, the more you gain.
Sponsored by Pampers.
Depends.
This battle of the fish creature is sponsored by Bush's Baked Beans. Mom's bouncing baby bear. You almost goofed.
That's how you get.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I saw my wallet flash before my eyes. Okay.
Are we allowed to heal him?
Once the fight starts.
How long does the exhaustion last?
So, help me out.
I'm just gonna heal him. Regardless of consequences.
Oh,
do that thing?
buddy.
Yeah, you do some work.
You for heal.
I imagine you're just like. And you're like, no.
My
Creature that I touch. With my thumb.
You see one of the guys go, whoa. What'd you do?
a frog. So I approach the center of the thing. My stance looks like I'm moving more out of sheer strength than out of any sort of nimbleness. Yeah, very much a lack of nimbleness.
Are you saying you're like the board?
As if my dexterity were lowered.
Almost.
This fish creature steps into the room. It points its trident and calls out something in that same hideous language. Meryl says, nothing more. This is between them. It steps up and it looks at you. It says something in Aquan, as if you were to understand it, but you understand trash talk in any language.
It's
Right.
a universal.
Why don't you say it in common, since I don't speak your language?
The beast that follows this victory.
Then I'm glad you'll die.
Needs.
And I post up.
What'd you get on your initiative?
10.
Oh boy, what's your dex modifier?
Oh no.
His?
-2 right now.
We'll just say it first.
It's the dex for initiative bonus.
Well, typically the initiative bonus is.
Well, his initiative bonus would be higher.
What's the initiative bonus?
2.
Sure. We'll let you go first, though.
With me.
Do you want to kill it?
Oh yeah, my first move is a bull rush.
Alright. So you square up to this creature, and then you say, well, I'm glad you'll die happy. And then you charge at it. As you do so, when you move into its range, it takes the trident and swings at you, taking the attack of opportunity.
Yes.
He knows that now.
on point with the on.
16 hit you. As it swings at you, you hold up your shield. You all see that splash of sparks as the trident bounces off of your shield and you come towards it.
That's that deflection.
You're welcome.
Did it miss you by 1?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And I had 15 versus his CD.
You run to him. He squares up as you plow into him and move him 5 feet back.
Did you mean the bulrush or charge?
He said C.
I said damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Charge shit adds 2 to attack. Or minus 2 Jason. Why are we playing rules the game against?
Ready, Simmons.
There are other games that make this way easier.
Can I make that a part of an intimidation?
It's part of a charge, so you're still hitting him with a melee attack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do I get a bonus to it or no bonus?
No, there's no bonus, but you're hitting him.
Okay.
He still gets the BAB edge of the attack, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's what he's asking.
he's hitting and knocking it back.
Also, if the Sahaugen creature has combat reflexes, do you have an improved bull rush? Then you would get an attack of opportunity for the bull rush.
Good
Well,
call.
Get wrecked.
19.
19. A 19 will strike your opponent.
8 points damage.
gross.
You hit it, knocking it back. It steps back and it wipes the blood from its lip as it looks at you. It rolls its trident as it takes a free 5-foot step into the room. In doing so, it swings up above your head. And it completely takes out the light that is in the center of the room. Everyone that doesn't have night vision, anyone that doesn't have dark vision, they completely disappear in the center of this room. As this thing hits the light, casting you both in darkness.
So would this,
Gonna be blinded.
would this be as blind or just
You were blind.
Where is the guy with the bag and stuff?
You are like, no. So, yeah, you are effectively blind.
Okay.
So that means any attacks against him would be 50-50. It is your turn.
This has got harder.
70.
Alright, that potentially will strike him.
That's right.
8.
It will not strike your opponent. As you swing out, you feel your sword connect with something, and you all for a brief moment see sparks fly as Damon's sword crashes into the shaft of the trident, and you just see them for a brief moment frozen in time as they and then it goes completely dark again. As that happens, you hear something hit the floor, and you hear this noise.
Should have been knowledge nature.
It would be Arcana. You don't have Arcana? Nat 20? Damn. Does a 15 hit you?
Yes.
You take 10 points of damage. Does a 12 hit you?
No.
Does an even lower hit you?
No.
Okay.
What? Yeah, it knows my weakness. The low.
Oh, by the way, it would be against your flat foot, which probably is the same as your AC.
Yes.
Okay. So, as you swing out and hit this thing, you hear something metal hit the ground, when suddenly you feel these sharp talons rake across your face. It jerks your head to the side, and you close your eyes as blood begins to roll down your face. but it doesn't really seem to matter. You can't see anything around you anyway. As you close your eyes and then out of instinct throw up your sword and shield, you feel your sword catch into the bend of its arm, and you feel something crash against your shield as you hear its teeth scrape against the metal. Your turn.
50 on the money.
50 will potentially strike your body.
11.
11 will not strike your opponent. As you swing out this thing, just hitting nothing but the darkness around you. 20.
Also, for future reference, 51 to 100 is 1 through 50 is
You didn't hit it. You take 5 points of damage. Cool.
No.
10. As you step to the side, you feel this thing grab you by the top of your head, and you feel its claws rend into your scalp as it tries to pull you back. You spin around, swinging your shield out, as you feel something make contact with the shield, and then you immediately do a thrust kick, and you feel it hit into this creature's torso as you hear its teeth clap in front of your face, and it stumbles backwards into the darkness.
56.
higher than 51.
9. That means no in German.
You swing out again, and in the darkness, you hear this thing step back. You can hear the of its massive weight, and you hear that deep guttural. And you hear the other ones begin to laugh again as it begins to bang on its chest, and you hear the other ones return in kind as it begins to taunt you in the darkness.
Not looking over the mural. Doesn't it seem unfair that he can see but the thing can't?
I find it unfair that he's wearing armor and it's not.
I retract my statement.
She goes, besides, I can't see what's going on.
Oh,
The tiefling goes, he's not doing great.
How,
not doing bad either.
is there light in the side passages?
Yes, but it only extends to him.
Where are we at?
You are all him.
Okay.
You also hear a chicken.
Yeah, that's not as important as being able
Like
to see.
periodically, you all can see the two silhouettes dancing and obstructing the light from the passage beyond, but you can't really make out what's going on.
I head towards that.
You hear it call out to you, and you hear the group begin to. You hear this noise echo out through the passage.
I hold my turn for when it gets close enough for me to see him.
It calls out to you in Aquan again.
Like, I told you, it's fish for brains.
Too scared to fight.
I'm not the one that put out the lights. Is that intimidation, or what would that be for
Intimidation.
intimidation? I've already hurled my dice in one of your abodes before.
did that,
I'm
didn't
not
y'all?
going to do that in here.
Metal dice don't roll well anyway.
That's 9.
It steps forward and it says, something so honored.
Come at me, bro.
Knowledge Arcana, you said? To
Yeah.
identify what this is?
Mhm.
More, I'm specifically wondering if it has natural armor. Ooh, maybe 22.
With a 22, you would be able to identify this as a Stalgan. Stalgan. The Stalgan! Ravenous and cruel, the Sahuagin are unfortunately among the most prosperous oceanic races. Great cities raised by these creatures darken the deep ocean trenches, and many are near coastal regions, creating fortresses where they launch endless raids against their air-breathing enemies who dwell in close proximity to the shore. You may ask, what'd you get again?
122.
13 questions.
There, you can look up the
You may ask 2 questions about the Sahuagin.
Defenses. Not special defenses. Defense.
What does that mean?
Armor type. Not specific AC.
It's natural.
So it does have a natural armor.
It has no armor that equips, so its AC is strictly from its dexterity.
So there's no natural armor.
Like,
Because they would say like
it doesn't have a shell.
right.
It's not difficult to hit. He's rolling garbage.
The 2 questions you said?
Yeah.
Special attacks.
Yes, it does have a special attack. Blood Frenzy. Once per day, a Sahuagin that takes damage in combat can fly into a frenzy in the following round. It bolsters its health and its strength in doing so. Mechanically, its constitution and strength. But it takes a penalty to its armor class. So, it rages. The frenzy lasts as long as the battle or 1 minute, whichever is shorter.
Okay. I sort of. A minute.
Does an 8 hit you?
No.
As you're standing there, the trident lurches out from the shadows. As you're just kind of on the defensive, you hold up your shield as it bounces off.
You take another 3-5 step back. And assume a defensive posture.
It says something in Aquan. Meryl says, I can't control what he does. It hits the ground with its trident over and over. She says, what do you want me to do? Shoot him in the back?
No, but you could shoot him in the face. I say.
You see those pearly whites glistening ever so often in that blue dim light, right? You see them roll back, and you see this black sheen completely cover them. Have you ever seen like Shark Week when a shark's about to attack? How it you see that as this thing roars out, and the area around you shakes, and it'll make a charge attack. It runs up. Actually, no, it can't. It could. Okay, it makes a charge attack. It runs at you, throwing the trident down as it moves into the light where you are, and you see it looks like a shark with legs. It looks like a shark running at you, not in water. As its mouth is open and it's roaring as it lurches at you with those powerful jaws.
So I get a attack of opportunity.
Do you have reach?
It's within reach.
It's entering into your space.
Yeah.
It's not moving within that space. So no. Does the 17 hit you?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Does the 19 hit you?
Yes.
I'm sorry, does a 21 hit you?
Move on, there's more numbers above it.
Dealing 9 points of damage. As it lurches out, grabbing you by the arms, and it sinks those jaws just into your shoulder. You hear this hideous crunch noise as you feel that kind of thick, hot blood begin to roll beneath your armor as it bites into you.
But that's kind of what I was waiting for. I might evil.
Oh yeah, because now you can see it.
Now I can see it.
Amos looks at his dice and he's like, I defy you.
You are the evil. I am playing.
Low rolls mean nothing now.
Yep. Alright, and I'm gonna attack him again.
You may.
Probably feels a good
With
thing.
11.
You swing up at this thing as it takes a step back. You kind of stagger as it.
Can I roll a kill check?
You may.
How's an 11?
With an 11, I would let you know whether he's above or below.
Oh.
With my special eyes, can I see how the Sahagin is looking too?
Yes, you may. Does it give you
Or half, 3, 2. So if it's between half and 3, then 3 and 0.
He's somewhere between half and 3. It takes a step back away from you as you swing up at it. It tilts its head and says something, in Aquan, and it leans in and it says, "Or, your puny brain, I'll make it clear to you." It points behind you. I'm eating the small ones first.
When he says that, Meryl, may I have it?
No.
And Mike.
No.
And mine.
Specifically now?
Does a 5 hit you? I'm sorry, does a 7 hit you?
No.
I'm sorry, doesn't know what.
Nat 20.
Reroll it.
Ross.
Does a 10 hit you?
Hold my walking stick.
You take 2 points of damage. Does a 9 hit you?
I don't know what this
It
is.
swings at you. You block, kind of like barely able to stand on your feet. As you knock its claw away, it swings at you with the other one as you just kind of check it with the pommel of your sword. And it snaps at your face, just catching you again on the chest as you scream out in pain and it pulls away from you. You see its long tongue lap out and begin to lick the blood from its teeth.
Oh, there we go. 26.
Oh, he's been rolling like under 7. All night.
5, 3, 42. One of these things is not like the others.
And 5 and
Oh shit, Sherlock! I have no in between. I get close when I hit. Alright, I hit him for 13 points of damage.
So, you kind of step back. You all hear that telltale sound of blood hitting metal as you hear that around Damon as he's standing his ground. This thing looks down at him and just... It lurches out towards him, and Damon ducks underneath it, and you see him whirl his sword above his head and swing up. He is now facing all of you with his sword out to the side. The creature freezes mid-lurch. As you see its head begin to shift and then drop to the ground, and its body still standing there. Blood spurts out and rolls over Damon's back as it just slumps to the side in a dead pile. You hear the other Salgan behind it stop their chant.
However, it is not a steady stance. I'm staggering as I'm holding the final pose.
If anybody is to look at Tamras, she is facing the wall. Like, as all of this is going on, she's standing there like this, not watching the fight. You see about 4 more Salgan begin to enter into that middle area.
As I hear, I turn around and put up another guard.
They are just as big and ugly as that one is.
I'm backing down.
They reach out and grab the dead body. They pull it into the darkness, and you all hear this tearing, ripping, crunching sound begin to emit from the darkness.
Oh, they're trying to put it back together. Got it.
I imagine you're like, Doctor, and you're like, nope, you don't want to know. Okay, never mind.
Watch it, Harry, watch it.
Someone turned my head on.
This will make a man out of
I
you.
imagine it's 65 feet away and Billy's like, oh, thank God, oh, thank God. That's an arm.
One of the creatures steps out into the light and it walks past you.
That's okay. It's not threatening. That's the thing. It's not.
It's still kind of threatening.
It's not actively threatening.
It walks past you as it walks up to Merle. You see that same bloody ichor rolling down from its teeth as it walks over to her. It starts saying something in Auckland. She says, "Thank you for the grace period, and what is promised will be delivered." Now, shoot, she says. It turns and walks off. She looks at
I
you.
turn and I stalk toward her. I don't raise my sword, but I'm not looking very happy.
He's growing.
As much as an 18 intimidation can do.
She looks up at you, right? She smiles. She said, "You'd be more intimidating if you didn't look like an open can of tomato sauce." She tries to take your sword from you.
I do not. It's like, I will use weapons on your behalf. I've earned the right to.
I decide what you've earned and what you haven't. And as long as your companions are under my thumb...
You have my sister. I will do nothing.
She laughs. Your sister has you. That's the only reason you're still alive.
You see my sword, hang my shield. It says, you can try to take me.
She cocks the hammer. She says, "You're barely standing. And I've killed these things before by myself."
But I will go with you. No trouble.
She takes a step back. As she does, Tamara says, "Damon, please." She says, "You're under no position to harm, my friend."
So, what sort of sense from the defeat of their leader?
You thought that was...
You hit him twice and he died.
They ate it.
Maybe that's how they get to be the leader. They eat it.
Swerved his power. These things get real scary.
There can be only one.
This stuff is horrible.
Like, you're not even supposed to be down here.
You say that to her?
Tamaris.
Oh, to Tamaris?
Yes.
You see anger well up in her face. You see tears begin to run down. She turns and starts walking in the other direction. Meryl watches her go. She pokes you in the chest. Fine, keep it. And she walks past you.
I turn and I follow her. At her 10-foot distance. Out of it.
I'm the bad one here. Anyways,
Ryan Reynolds now?
What?
Interviews. You can sponsor us.
Sponsors of Deadpool and Wolverine. I will host
Libel?
I will host a whole episode dressed as either one of them. In any scene of that movie. Anyway. So, you know what I'm talking about, Hugh. Anyway. Oh, Hugh. Hugh. Anyway. Not Hugh, Hugh. Anyway. As you begin...
Because it was funny.
Berta just melted into the floor. As you all make your way into that tunnel, those who can see make a wide circle in the center of the room. Those who can't see hear something squishy as they make their way through the center of the room.
Slosh, slosh,
What
slosh.
the? Hey, don't step in the middle.
Greetings, adventurers. This is the part of the episode where the mics just decided to not want to work. So, we will meet you guys in the second part. And remember, this is a good day to die.